Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited you're here again. This time I'm taking you along with me on a trip to Montreal, but with a little twist. Our adventure actually started in Ottawa. It turned out to be a more economical way to travel because direct flights to Montreal can be surprisingly pricey. So we flew to Ottawa first. One thing I really liked about Ottawa is how easy it is to get from the airport to the city. You don't need to stress about buses or call an Uber. The light rail line takes you straight downtown. It's new, clean, air-conditioned, and super convenient. We dropped our bags at our Airbnb, and of course, the first mission was food. Google Maps led us to Smash Daddy Burgers in ByWard Market, and wow, what a good choice! Super tasty, very filling, exactly what we needed after traveling. ByWard Market itself is one of the Ottawa's oldest neighborhoods, full of little restaurants, pubs, and shops. It's been around since the 1800s. We only spent a day in Ottawa, and since it was a long weekend, most of the museums were fully booked. So instead, we just enjoyed walking around, taking in the city. Honestly, I'd say if you're not planning to dive deep into museums and galleries, one day in Ottawa is plenty. It's nice, but probably not at the very top of my list. The next morning, we were off to Montreal. And of course, in true travel fashion, it poured rain the moment we picked up the car. If you've seen my other travel videos, you know that every time we rent a car, it's like the weather gods decide to test us. Like, I really don't know where we're going. What's going on? Yeah. We chose this route because it's supposed to be beautiful. It is though. Oh, I can't see shit. Now, Montreal. This city is famous for food, and let me tell you, it lives up to the hype. Everywhere you turn, there are amazing restaurants, cafes, and bakeries, everything from ramen to French pastries. It was honestly overwhelming to choose because everything looked so good. The architecture blew me away too. Montreal has this mix of European charm, like cobblestone streets, old stone buildings, and modern Canadian high-rises. Walking through old Montreal felt like being transported straight back to Europe, which made me so happy because I've been missing it a lot. Quick disclaimer, my French and English aren't perfect, so sorry if I mess up some names. But don't worry, they are on the screen and in the description too. One of the highlights of our trip was the light show at the Notre-Dame Basilica of Montreal. The church itself is breathtaking. It's actually where Celine Dion got married. But the light show takes it to another level. They don't allow filming inside, which is a good thing because it forces you to just be present and experience it. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are, it's beautiful, meditative, and inspiring. The next morning, we started the day with coffee at Baristello, which gave us the perfect energy boost to what was ahead, climbing up Mount Royal for its famous viewpoint. The hike was no joke, with an insane number of stairs, but once we reached the top, it was absolutely worth it. From up there, you can see the whole city laid out below you. Charming old European-style neighborhood, blending seamlessly with modern skyscrapers. Fun fact, Montreal actually gets its name from this very mountain. After the climb, we walked around downtown, grabbed some refreshing drinks, and headed to our next stop. Something that really fascinated me about Montreal is its metro system. Unlike most subway systems, the trains don't run on steel rails. They run on rubber tires. It makes the ride quieter and smoother, and it was actually one of the first systems in the world to do this. We also explored St. Joseph's Oratory, which is Canada's largest church. It sits on the hillside of Montreal and has incredible views over the city. Halfway there. That day we had dinner at Sansotei Ramen. It was absolutely delicious. Ramen is kind of a must for us on every trip. After that, we wanted to try some of the Montreal's breweries. For some reason, a lot of them closed really early on Sunday, which was kind of surprising. Luckily, we found Brasserie. Honestly, I first loved the name and the whole aesthetic. The place had the sleek, minimal design. Even the cans looked like little pieces of art. They also had a really nice terrace, and the beer itself was great, but they closed pretty early too. So we headed to another spot, which I can't even pronounce. I will not try. You can see it on the screen. This one was totally different. It was pretty empty for some reason, but they stayed open late, which was exactly what we needed. The vibe inside felt more like a cozy coffee shop than a brewery, but honestly, I didn't mind. It was comfortable, the beer was good, and they played really great music. The next day, first thing in the morning, we stopped for breakfast at Bol Humeur Café Boutique. And oh my gosh, this place was stunning inside and the food was incredible. Definitely my favorite cafe in Montreal. I'd go back in a heartbeat. Since we had the car, we decided to use it for a little road trip to Mont Tremblant. It's usually known as a ski town, but in the summer it transforms into the super charming mountain village. It was a really hot day and full of people, but Mont Tremblant was still so worth it. They had lots of cafes, little shops and boutiques selling local souvenirs. Definitely a spot I'd recommend putting aside a full day for. We took the gondola up the mountain, and the views of the valley and lakes were breathtaking. They even have a little viewing area at the top where you can just sit and take it all in. It's one of those experiences that makes you stop for a second and just appreciate where you are.
Walking through a village with colorful buildings and cozy cafes, we got back on the road but made one more stop, Mont Tremblant village. Set along the lakeshore, it had the same charming vibe with vibrant streets and inviting spots, and we dropped into Au Café for a quick break and ended up having coffee with ice cream. It was so good, we actually ordered it twice. From there, it was back to Ottawa for another overnight stay before our last day on the trip. And that day happened to be Canada Day, July 1st. It was absolutely packed. The streets were filled with people, and honestly, it felt a little overwhelming at times. I was starving, so I managed to squeeze into a small table at the Grand Pizzeria and Bar, which worked out perfectly since the most people were in the big groups with their families. The pizza was delicious, and afterward, I walked around the city for a bit. But with the crowds, it was tough, so I decided to find a quieter spot to wait for my flight. That's how I stumbled upon Ten Toes Coffee House and Laundry. Yes, you heard that right, a cafe that also has laundry machines, apparently. Kind of weird combo, but honestly a really cool spot. They also serve beer, and it was exactly the chill place I needed to get some work done while I waited. The only downside? It was plus 36 degrees Celsius that day, and they didn't have air conditioning, so it felt like sitting in a sauna. Still, I'd recommend it, just maybe not on a heatwave day. And that was it. Back home at last. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts about this trip in the comments. I'd love to hear if you've been to any of these places or if you'd want to go. See you in the next one.